Can a thin piece of paper break a wall firmly supported by millions? Today, we will look at the world. We will analyze I Look at the World by Langston Hughes. It is one of such wall breaking papers. Langston Hughes is known as the Shakespeare of Harlem. He was a poet, a novelist, essayist, and a playwright. He is an African American social activist. His works focused on black rights, condemned racism, and carried the message of equality. He has lived across the US, Mexico, Africa, and Europe. He had seen people getting opportunities and respect despite their race in different parts of the world, but in the so called greatest nation, they were treated as foreigners. After suffering decades of oppression, the black community wanted to put a good impression with hopes of better treatment from the white community. So, the black intellectuals criticized Hughes' early works for portraying the unattractive side of black life. I Look at the World was published in 1930. It was the decade of the Harlem Renaissance. Music, literature, politics, and art was flourishing in the stages of the Harlem neighborhood in New York City. It was a golden age for American African culture. In the 1910s, African Americans were excluded from lucrative jobs, schools, and public accommodations. Most of them worked as laborers and had a very low quality of life compared to their white counterparts. Langston Hughes' I Look at the World represents the segregation era. It is a free verse poem, but the phrase I look at is repeated at the beginning of every stanza. This is showing the lack of reflection and thought about the functioning of society. This short poem has 3 stanzas with a profound meaning and a sense of encouragement. Form and metaphors are the prominent elements in this poem. They help to represent large information in a small space, including evoking relatable stories that cannot be stated in other forms of literature. I look at the world from awakening eyes in a black face. The dash creates silence in the poem. It gives the author and the readers the space to think about black people, not just about crime or negative things the white society associated with the color black, but their values, hopes, and aspirations, things that are dragging them behind, lacking opportunities and hatred in return for the slavery and hard work. And this is what I see, this fenced off narrow space assigned to me. Fenced off narrow space denotes the limited opportunities for black people. They lacked fundamental rights, including the right to vote. They were facing difficulties in schools, hospitals, and even public transportation. A pregnant black woman visiting a hospital in her 9th month of pregnancy had to vacate her seats for a young, energetic white adult going to the gym. I looked then at the silly walls, through dark eyes in a dark face. The metaphor silly walls represents all the hatred and oppression built to segregate black citizens. It is silly as it has no logic or sense behind it. With the dash, the author is giving space to remind people of those walls, not necessarily physical, that made the life of black people a hell. And this is what I know, that all these walls, oppression belts will have to go. I look at my own body with eyes no longer blind. With the dash, the author reflects on those moments when he belittled himself just because of his color. He was convinced that he is inferior to his white friends. But he is now no longer blind. He can see his strengths and abilities and found himself no different than anyone else. And I can see that my own hands can make the world that's in my mind. Then let us hurry, comrades, the road to find. The writer concludes with the words of encouragement. He believes that he and each of us can change the world and realize the dreams and hopes of millions of African Americans. Thank you for watching.